What you're seeing right now is the largest Great Wolf Lodge location in the entire world. There are 23 of them located all throughout the United States and 1 or 2 in Canada. And of all of them, this is the largest. And just by looking at the images on your screen, you can see that there is a lot to see and do here. And I'm going to do a full, complete, and comprehensive tour of the entire water park. You're going to look at all the outdoor areas, all the attractions, the slide, pools, arcade. There's a hotel attached to the property. We're going to take a look at that, as well as all the food option, indoor attractions, the cost, and I'm going to help you understand if staying here and being here is worth your time and money. So let's get started right now. There's a lot of things that I enjoyed about my stay here. However, paying $15 per day to park my car was not one of them. One of the things I'd recommend you do is just to write down or take a photograph of your tag before you go in, because that's what they'll need to make sure that they don't tow your car. Just to give you an idea of where you are, it is the closest Great Wolf Lodge to Baltimore. So that's the metropolis that really feeds this park area. When you first get here, this is what you'll see. This is the main entrance, and there is a ton of activities that take place all times of the day and night. They have morning activities, they have nighttime stories and movies here, and it's usually a lot of activity going on in this place, and this is just one of the many things that happen in the main entrance to Great Wolf Lodge. The main attraction is going to be the massive indoor water facility, and we're going to take a look at that in its entirety. But before we get into that point, I just want to show you what this area looks like at night. And as you can see, it's usually pretty full. A lot of people gather here, and the best thing that you can do once you get here, the first thing is to find out the event of activity. So find out when they're having their morning exercises, when they're having their stretches, when they're having characters that will come by for photo opportunities, when they're having games or movies. So you want to make sure that you plan your time there sort of around what's happening in the main lobby. This is me checking in right here, and one of the things I would recommend you do is just get a printout or have it on your phone of your itinerary or booking information. That way you can go to these kiosks here, which was underutilized, and you can check in and avoid all those lines. We just checked in and we are now walking towards our room, and the room we got is the Grizzly Bear Suite. It sleeps anywhere from 6 to 8 people, and it is fairly large. I was very happily surprised at the size of this room. Didn't expect it to be this large or this nice. It was very plush in my opinion. Very much worth the money so far. So far it's my first time here, and I am very, very pleased. As we continue to take a look around the room, I just want to point out that this is a huge hotel. There are as many as 700 rooms. If you go to their website, you see that there is a lot of different variety and types of rooms. Also, this room does have a mini fridge, so you can bring your own food and save some money. But unfortunately, there is no microwave, so whatever you eat is going to be eaten cold. Now what we are doing is walking now what I would like to call the main promenade area, and there's a lot of things to do that you can include in your package or not participate in. That way it'll bring some of the cost down or bring it up depending on what you decide. However, you can package things together, and the first thing right here that they package together along with the stay in the room and the water park ticket is going to be the golf course area. It's not particularly a large area. However, if you're going to be here for the weekend, you may get tired of the water park after a few days, and this kind of breaks it up a little bit, allows you to enjoy your stay a little bit more. The next thing that you can package up is going to be the rope course. The rope course is right above the golf course. So those people you see who are on the rope course right now, directly below them are the folks who are playing golf. And also, it's a 2-tier rope course. It's not terribly complex. Again, it's something fun to do, a way to break up the time that you would have in the pool. And I got to tell you that the pool area is really lush. My kids were there for a few days and they never got tired of the pool. There is an arcade, and if you're a parent, there's one thing I'll warn you about. This is expensive. Some packages give you a $5 card. That card does not go very far or very long. So be mindful if your kids are in here, they're going to be running up the bill very quickly. The next thing we're going to talk about is food, and the food here, in my opinion, is going to be quite expensive. I certainly recommend you bring candy and snacks. That will help bring the cost down significantly. There's places that you can buy snacks here, and also full meal as well as appetizers and desserts. When we talk about food, let's break it down into three different segments. We'll talk about the variety of foods that you can eat, the quality, and then the cost. First, let's start with variety. There was a fair number of places that you could eat. There was about maybe 8 different restaurants, and they had a variety of different types of food, mostly American food. You're not going to see anything that you wouldn't recognize, and I thought the variety was adequate. I didn't have to leave to go anywhere else. When it comes to quality, I thought the quality was okay. It wasn't the best food I had, but it certainly was by no means the worst. If I had to compare it to an outdoor restaurant, I would say it's the equivalent of, say, a Fridays or maybe, say, an Applebee's. When it comes to cost, you're going to absolutely save a lot of money by bringing your own food. However, it's going to be far more convenient to eat right here on site. However, if you have a family of, say, 4, it's going to get expensive. Average, I would say you could maybe get away with a meal for about $20 for an adult and $11 or so for a child. When it comes to the all-you-can-eat restaurant, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. I thought maybe prohibitively expensive for the all-you-can-eat restaurants. It starts at around $17 per person for breakfast. If you know that you're going to eat there, you can go online and buy their food cards. A food package is going to save you around 10% on your meal. So it's not going to save you a terrible amount, but it will save you a little bit, especially if you plan to eat on site. If you want to save money, you can go off site. About a 10-minute drive away is a Food Lion, and right next door to that is Domino's as well as Subway's, but there's not a lot of fast food places immediately surrounding it. But again, if you have a car, you don't have to go very far. The main attraction of Great Wolf Lodge, this is why most people come here, is because of what we're looking at right now, and it is the water park. Again, it is the largest Great Wolf Lodge of all of them. So you're not going to find a better water park area in the entire franchise. The water park is very comprehensive. It's broken down into 6 distinct areas, and I'm going to go through all of them, starting with the slide, the outdoor pool, the lazy river, the sports pool, the wave pool, the kids splash park, and what you're looking at right here, which is the Waterworks Play Park. One of the things that I enjoy the most, and I know that your kids will too, is when the big bucket comes down and it just tumbles over this tree house and it splashes on top of everyone. This right here, in my opinion, is one of the highlights of being here. I just absolutely love playing in this park. So if you look at the photographs, you can see that there are both kids and adults alike that are enjoying it. So one of the great things I like about this park is that it's not just meant for little kids. As many adults as kids were in there having a good time. You'll see adults that are sitting on the chairs, but also you'll see a fair amount of them that are in all of the different parts of the park. Something I really like about this park is that it has the capacity, unlike other Great Wolf Lodges, which are more catered for small kids, to bring the entire family together. If you're a teenager, there's something here for you. If you're a little toddler, there's a little splash park here for you. If you like slides, there's that. There's still the lazy river, the outdoor pool area. There's something for everyone. So in my opinion, this stands apart in that it caters really to the entire family. If you only want to come here for the day and don't want to spend the night, something to consider would be a day pass. They have 2 types of day pass. They have a half day pass and a full day pass. Now, if you go on the weekend, it's going to be a lot more expensive for the day pass. We're talking about $120 for the weekend. However, if you come during the weekday, you're looking at around $40. The water park opens as early as 10 a.m. and it closes at 8 p.m. You can also get a half day pass. So you can get in at 4 o'clock and stay there for 4 hours until 8. If you have very young kids, there is a splash parks and there's chairs all around, so you can keep an eye on your kids. There's also a wave pool that has a wave that come periodically. Again, chairs all around. And while we were there, it was completely full. And as you look around, you can see that there's still some empty chairs. So this is what the park will look like at max capacity. So it doesn't get any fuller than what you're seeing right now. Also, there is a lazy river. I think it's great because when you're running upstairs and you're exhausted and you're tired, or if you just had something to eat and you just want to relax, this is a great option for kids of all ages. And as you can see, it's not very deep. It only goes down to about maybe 3 feet. The thing that kids of all ages are going to enjoy is going to be the slides. And we looked at some smaller slides earlier on, but they also have some major slides. All the slides are not contained within the water park. If you look at it from the outside, you'll see that some of the major slides jet out. So it's actually quite more comprehensive than it looks when you're standing on the inside and looking at the water park. If you're an adult, the reality is that maybe as much as half the time you're not going to be in the water, you're going to be sitting down somewhere, and there are plenty of seats. Now here's a pro tip for you. If you want to get a seat, I recommend you get down there a bit early. The park opens up at 10 o'clock, it closes at 8, and when we were there at 10 o'clock, there was a line to get in. That's because people wanted to get premium seats, but as you look around, you can see that there's still lots of open seats available, both seats that are close to the water and seats that are further away, and they go as much as 4 deep. This is the sports pool, and if you have kids who can't swim or are not very tall, the great thing is that they have life vests available, and there was always lifeguards available throughout the entire facility. So wherever there is water, there is a lifeguard. If you have a child that can't swim, I recommend you tell the lifeguards to keep an eye on them. There's also security as well, although we didn't see a heavy security presence while we were there. They do provide complimentary towel. However, I will warn you, you need your room key to check it out, and if you lose it or don't return it, they will charge you for it. I found that out the hard way. In addition to the restaurants outside, there's also places inside, at least 2, that will serve you food and alcoholic drinks, as well as sodas and other beverages. Now, if you don't want to have to fight for a seat, there are cabanas available. They have guaranteed seating. There's a mini fridge inside, free safe. There's a television, overhead fan, and there's a plug so that you can charge up your electronic devices. They have cabanas not only inside, but they have cabanas outside as well in the outdoor pool area, which we're looking at right now. As you can see, we were there in the summertime, so it's very hot outside. The water is at 84 degrees whether you're in or out, so if you go there in the middle of the winter, you're going to be perfectly happy. The only thing the winter doesn't have is the hot tub on the outside right here, as well as the outdoor pool area, but pretty much everything else that you see is included if you come here in the middle of the winter. This is me taking a closer look at the cabanas that are outside. The only downside with these cabanas and all the cabanas here is that they are very expensive. However, if you want a perfect view and just have a shaded area, it's absolutely worth the money. While we look at the green space, if you just want to relax on the fake grass here, I'll tell you that there are showers available, and that's great if you want to come here just for the day. That way you can come enjoy the park, and then this is a closed off private area that's open to everyone who's at the park, and you can get a shower, rinse yourself off. Just bring your own soap because there's no soap available. There are lockers for rent, and how much you pay depends on the size of locker that you get. It's a kiosk system, so you just need a credit card in order to be able to rent a locker. If you are into retail therapy, you have to buy something to commemorate your time here. There's plenty of opportunities to do that. I will say this, if you're not into the water park and you want a more adult activity, I'm going to show you something towards the end that you can do to really pass the time, and it's within walking distance of Great Wolf Lodge. Overall, I thought the staff was kind, helpful, and pleasant. They seemed to be wanting to and willing to help you with any challenges you go into. The only thing is that they looked to me like they were awfully young, like in their mid-20s young adults. Now, as far as who's this park right for, it's really right for people of all ages. I said that earlier and I'll say it again. If you have teenagers, young kids, or even adults will enjoy the water park area. However, if for whatever reason you're not having a great time and you want a more adult activity, literally within walking distance is the Hollywood Casino. It's for adults only, and you can go in here and gamble all your life savings away. I mentioned the day park earlier, but if you're here on the weekend for $120 a person or a family of 4, you're better off just renting a room and having the water park as a bonus. So in my opinion, not a bad value for the money. At times, unless you plan carefully, it could get awfully expensive.